Your grade is broken down into two parts, discussion boards and reflection assignments. And the reflection assignments are the last part of each unit. If you click on discussion boards, worth 50% of your grade, each unit covers 2 to 3 new problem-solving strategies and corresponding 2 to 3 chapters in the text. So some units are a little longer than others, and this is what you need to make sure you're aware of when you're assessing how long it might take you to do something. Each chapter will include a reading assignment, a video example, and 4 to 5 problems from the text for you to attempt. You're expected to attempt all the problems assigned, not just those who are assigned to the posted discussions. Attempting all problems will help you engage in the discussions better. There will also be a discussion threads that require you to discuss thinking about teaching and applying course concepts. This is a very important note. You're not necessarily being taught any new mathematics, although some of the problem-solving skills may be new to you. Instead, you'll be expected to use prior knowledge from across the mathematical disciplines, such as basic mathematics, modeling, algebra, probability, etc. This is why this is one of the last courses you take in your math sequence. You need to have all the background to be able to do it. Think about when you're posting on the discussion board, an acronym you can use is SMART, specific, meaningful, appropriate, reasoned, and thoughtful. I want you to be aware of the fact that your discussion board post should not be a first draft. It's not something that you're going to do at 11:58 p.m. the night it's due. It's one of those things where you're going to be working on problems and you're going to be thinking about how you're going to be specific, how you're going to be meaningful, when are you going to be appropriate, what appropriate things are you going to use, that you've reasoned through it and that you've thought about it. This class is going to take you some time, especially at the beginning, to get used to. I need you to make sure you set aside a time for that. It's only going to make your life easier. Discussion thread participation. I want to make sure it's clear, and this is some of the things that people complained about last semester, which I completely understand, but let me give you my point of view. I can't let you edit or delete your own posts or anybody else's. The main reason is, let's say you accidentally did it. Then you've done all that work and it's gone. Another thing is, you try to edit after the date submitted and I've already graded it. Well, I'm not going to go back and regrade it, okay? So you cannot do that, and there's pretty much nothing I can do about it. This is the only way that it's effective enough. There are 2 types of discussion boards that I'm stealing in this course. I did not do the type 1 last semester, but I'm doing it this semester because of some feedback I got from the students. There are 2 types. There's an open discussion board for each unit. And if you want to take a second, pause right now, go to the discussion boards, find all the open discussion boards for each unit, and subscribe to them. I'm going to make you do it again. Sorry. Discussion boards, open discussion boards for unit 1. Yours should say subscribe to it. Go ahead and take a second and do that for all the open discussion boards. The reason why you have to subscribe to those discussion boards is you won't be able to actually answer questions because you won't know that anybody's posted, so you have to subscribe to them. You do not need to subscribe to the directed discussion boards. Anytime somebody responds to your post directly, you'll be able to get a notification. So now you're at the open discussion board, you've subscribed, you know when somebody's going to ask a question, and you know when you can help out. The second type of discussion board are directed discussion boards, and we're going to discuss both of those right now. Okay, so here's the gist of the open discussion boards. The feedback I got was people seem to just not really know how to start some of the problems and got frustrated. And this could have been just a result of the problems being really hard, because some of them are really hard. So this discussion board is intended for you to ask me and your fellow peers questions. Now, it's not that I won't answer questions. I will. What I want to do is give you a chance to share some ideas with each other. I would call myself more a facilitator of this course than somebody who is actually directing the course where I'm actually responding a lot. You're really going to be interacting with your peers the most, and that's how a discussion-based course in real life would work also. I'm going to try to guide you as best I can. I'll answer when I can and when it makes sense, but the group of you are going to be working together. I'm facilitating this course. I'm helping you with it, but you are really taking on the task to help each other. So the first way is to ask a question. You could simply say, I'm on problem number 7 in Unit A, and I really just do not have any idea how to start. Somebody could go on and guide you. Say, well, I looked at this example on page 56, and it helped me get started, and this is why. You are not allowed to give answers, nor are you allowed to solve problems on the open discussion board. You are only allowed to guide. which is really great practice to be a teacher because students don't need answers, they need help. They need guidance, right? They don't need just answers. To get the full credit, you must either do the first way or the second way a minimum of 5 times entire semester. You can mix the two. So let's say that you're doing really good the first 2 units and you understand anything, but you get to the 3rd unit and you're lost. Well, that's when you start asking questions. But the first 2 units you may be answered. I'm only asking you to do this 5 times. You have the entire semester to do it. Get ahead while you can. As soon as you get 5 times, you get the full credit. I believe that was 50 points of your grade. The second discussion board are called directed discussion boards. So this is where you have all the threads that you're assigned. Each unit you will see a discussion board with 15 discussion thread-based topics for the unit. These threads will be numbered E through 14. And you are going to be required to participate in all the threads, but in different ways. Now that may seem overwhelming, but give me a chance to tell you how to do it. So the part 1 would be all your initial posts. So within each unit, see the discussion board description, which we talk about in the discussion board video. You will either be assigned even or odd number threads for your initial posts. That means that you're posting solutions and responding to the questions of these 7 threads by the initial post deadline. Make sure you're paying attention to what you've been assigned. Thread assignments are set up that for each student gets a first level set A problem to solve for each chapter and try a new problem solving strategies, either a harder set A problem or set B. All the initial posts are going to be moderated with the exception of the very first unit, and that means that you will not be able to see anybody else's posts until after the deadline and the peer review begins. Again, people complained about this, but I can tell you right now that we all have to be at a certain point in the class. Not everyone can be way ahead or get way ahead. Why? Because you have to do peer review. So as much as I would love to let everyone just go at their own pace, that's not the type of course this is. Okay, this is not just a basic algebra course where you just need to get done with the material. You have to help each other throughout. So I have to moderate the post, and I can't unmoderate any one post. I only can unmoderate everyone's post. Meaning, again, once again, I'm going to try to be clear. Until the peer review begins, you will not be able to see any other post with the exception of Unit 1. Unit 1 I'm going to leave open to get the experience. Part 2, peer feedback. So this is all within the directed discussion board once again. So the initial post deadline has come and gone. You've done your 7 initial posts. You are now going into peer feedback. So you're going to go into, let's say if you were odd, now you're going to go into all the even posts and you're going to give peer feedback. They're unmoderated. You can see the post immediately. You may be at one point required to give certain peer feedback to certain people, and I will let you know that in the announcements or within the discussion board itself. And within 48 hours of the peer feedback deadline, you'll see a preliminary score. You'll see a score, and you'll try to email me and tell me, why is my score so low? Well, it's because we're not quite done with everything. So you've done your peer feedback, but let's say you missed somebody or you didn't satisfy all the conditions. That's what further thoughts is for, which is part 3. Further thoughts is after the initial post and peer feedback deadlines, you'll have the opportunity to respond to the peer feedback that we received and interact in any discussion board thread. Everything is wide open. This gives you a chance to maybe, at my discretion, earn some more points. So let's say you forgot to do a couple of peer reviews. It's possible that if you do a peer review now, you might get the credit, okay? So you can read that on your own. So this is something that you definitely need to read on your own. I don't want to read that to you. I just really want to get through what the parts were, which you should read on your own also again later. But early rewards, again, I talked about that in the previous video. You can read that. Late penalties. I don't really like to extend deadlines. If I do, I usually extend it for everyone. But you can always email me and let me know if there's a certain circumstance that you just really need some extension time. The problem with that is, especially with peer review, is that people are waiting for your feedback. Okay. That's the discussion board. The reflection questions will go pretty fast. That's also 50% of your grade. So the reflection questions are mostly essay assignments where you are going to read a prompt and then you're going to respond in an essay format. I've tried to be as specific as I can, especially in the reflection video, to explain to you that this is not a 1 or 2 sentence response, that this is an exact science kind of like, here's the prompt, here are the 3 questions you need to answer. When I'm grading these, I'm going to grade these for efficiency. Hey, did you answer the question? Did you answer the question with some thoughtfulness? Does this appear to be something that you've actually thought about? Have you referenced certain things? So you're going to have to take some time to do these reflection assignments. The nice thing about it is you can open the reflection assignments, read everything, and close it, and you don't have to worry about submitting until you're absolutely done. So anyway, some of this has to be changed because the Tuesday deadline, it's not a Tuesday deadline anymore. These has Sunday. I'll change that for you. And then there's actually 2 of the first unit reflections that are right here that you can see. But I don't know why they're there, actually. That's weird. But you can get your reflection assignments by either going to the unit or you can do reflection assignments. So that is basically all of the syllabus. It is really up to you to make sure you read everything and not just look at my videos and think that's going to be sufficient. You should read through everything also. Thank you for your time.